How to service a Suzuki Jimny for dummies. You're going to need 5 litres of oil, an oil filter, just look up any brand, sump plug and washer, or just a new washer. Plugs, doesn't matter if they're iridium, just plugs. You'll notice I have no air filter. That's because I rock a K&N filter, which is guaranteed for lifetime, and you wash out and reuse it. I highly recommend getting a K&N filter. It saves you money in the long run, but a standard filter is completely fine. So first thing you want to do is pop the bonnet. Whilst you're in the engine bay, check all your other fluids. You can see the coolant is a little bit low, so I'm going to top up. These are the tools you're going to need for the job. Obviously for your oil, then we've got spark plug socket. The head is really deep, so you need to get a deep socket or an extension with a plug socket on it. 17mm spanner for the sump plug. Again, that can be a socket that you can just use on your ratchet, whatever. Then these, a little 8mm socket for the spark plug cover. Again, this can be spanners or sockets, it doesn't matter. I've got to include oil filter wrenches or whatever. I prefer the gripper type, but you can get these belt types that work just as well. Now we're going to run the car for 5 minutes or so just to get the oil hot and make it easy to come out. So now we've started to get a bit of temp in the oil, shut down. Jimneys get hot pretty quick, so you don't have to run it for hours.
So with 17mm spanner or socket, undo the sump bolt and then pushing against the sump, and do it and release.
Whilst that's draining, open up the oil fill, help oil come out. And whilst that's doing that, we're going to move on to the air filter. To remove the air filter's 4 clips, push in, release, push in, release, push in, release, push in, release. There it is. This is where if you're running a standard filter, you just put the lid back on with your new filter in, clip them shut, done. I have a K&N, so I need to wash it out. Now we're going to move on to the plugs. We need to remove these 6 8mm bolts. Now our cover's off, we need M10 socket to take off our core packs. Now we remove our caps. Suzuki Jimny head is very, very deep. Grab our 16mm socket spanner, and I'm going to work my way back, replacing the spark plugs. Top tip, always compare your spark plugs, even if wherever you bought them on said they're perfect, because if you get that wrong, that can be an expensive mistake. Put your spark plug in, don't force anything, get it just to a point where you can feel the washer seat, then crank the washer down a touch. Do not crank too much. You do not want to thread the head, that will be expensive. Once all your plugs are in, bolt back down and we can refit our case. I peel the gasket off and put it back in the cover. When you're putting on the top cover, it's old plastic, so don't do them up too tight because you can crack the plastic.
Now we can refit our new either washer or sump bolt. You don't have to torque this down to the max if it leaks because you haven't done it up tight enough, just tighten it up some more. So the oil filter's on the right side below the exhaust. Move your drain pan so it's underneath the filter. Grab your grippers and release. Once you've removed the old oil filter, make sure the surface is clean and doesn't have the old O-ring on it.
Once you've got your new oil filter, put a spread of fresh oil on the O-ring and fit. Spec is hand tight.
Once you've got your new oil filter on and you've done it up hand tight, if for any reason you get a leak from it, you just haven't done it up tight enough, so you just got to tighten it a bit more. There's no stress.
So now I've come to put an oil in. There seems to be different capacities for Suzuki Jimnys. They range from 3.7 to 4.2. I think the later models have more. Start low, go up. I'm going to put 3, 3.5 in, see where it is on the dipstick, and then we'll know which one we've got. Okay, this engine takes 3.7 litres. I just checked on the dip. We're on a slight bank, so I've put 3 litres in. On the dipstick, it's showing at full mark. Once we go down, sit level, if it's our true reading, and then we can top up if necessary. So now we've done all that, we're all wrapped up. You'll find the oil light will stay on maybe fractionally longer than normal until it builds up pressure.
There we have it, guys. The service is done.
Huge thanks for watching, and if you made it this far, you obviously want to see how you service your car. Hopefully you liked the quicker pace video and not having me chat a load of like rubbish during it. If you want to see other Suzuki Jimny videos, I've got one of us converting this car into like a DIY overlander, super cheap camper platform, so check that out. If you like what I'm doing and find it helpful, let us know in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.